You've probably been told that a good memory is something you're born with. But what if I told you that's completely wrong? In fact, most people are using a memory system that's fundamentally broken. Today, we're going to fix it. I'm going to show you a neuroscience-backed method that can triple your ability to memorize and recall information. And it has nothing to do with repeating things over and over. If you want to learn faster and actually remember what you study, subscribe and like the video so you don't miss these techniques. The first thing you need to understand is that your brain doesn't prioritize information based on how many times you see it. It prioritizes based on meaning and survival value. Think about it. You can forget a phone number you just looked up, but you never forget how to ride a bike or where you were during a shocking event. That's because your brain has a filter. It asks, is this important for my survival? If the answer is no, it gets dumped. So, the real secret to memory isn't repetition, it's hacking that filter. You have to make your brain believe the information is crucial. This is where the first technique comes in: deliberate encoding. Most people try to memorize by exposure, rereading notes, highlighting text. This is passive. Your brain is barely engaged. Deliberate encoding is active. It means you force your brain to process the information in a new way immediately. For example, after reading a paragraph in a textbook, close the book and ask yourself, what did I just learn? Can I explain it in my own words? This works because you're switching from passive input to active construction. You're building a new neural pathway, not just glancing at an old one. Neuroscience shows that the act of retrieval itself, trying to pull the information out, strengthens the memory far more than putting it in again. But there's a trap. Even if you encode well, you'll forget on a predictable curve. This leads to technique 2, strategic spacing. Cramming everything into one session is the worst thing you can do. It makes the memory strong for about 48 hours, then it plummets. Instead, you need to recall the information just as your time's about to forget it. This is the spacing effect. Let's say you learn a new concept today. Review it tomorrow, then in 3 days, then in a week. Each time you successfully recall it at these increasing intervals, you signal to your brain, this keeps being useful. We need to keep this long term. The struggle to recall is not failure. It's the workout that makes the memory muscle grow. Software like Anki automates this, but the principle is simple: space out your practice. Now, let's combine these into the most powerful method of all: elaborative interrogation. This is the ultimate filter hack. Don't just ask what, ask why. When you encounter a new fact, connect it to something you already know and question it deeply. Why does this work this way? How is this similar to that other concept? Why is this true? By creating a web of connections, you're giving the memory multiple entry points. From a neuroscience perspective, you're integrating it into your existing neural network, not leaving it as a lonely, fragile fact. The more connections, the harder it is to lose. A fact in isolation is easily deleted. A fact woven into your understanding of the world becomes permanent. So, the big payoff is this: memory isn't about storage, it's about reconstruction. You don't have a finite hard drive. You have a living, dynamic system that builds memories every time you successfully use them. Triple your memory doesn't mean triple your study time. It means triple the efficiency of the time you already spend. Stop trying to write information onto your brain. Start forcing your brain to write it for you through deliberate encoding, strategic spacing, and deep connection. Your memory isn't broken. You've just been using the wrong manual. Next, I'm breaking down the fastest way to memorize anything you read. You don't want to miss that.